Good morning. Paul says, I serve God with my spirit. And then in another place, he says, I sing with my spirit and I sing with my understanding. And then in another place in Romans, he says, offer your bodies as a living sacrifice. This is your reasonable. And in one place, I think it says spiritual service. So, like, what's the role of our spirit and our body? Like, there's one thing where we can say, I have my spiritual life. And you can say, I'm doing great spiritually, but emotionally, I am not doing well. And mentally, I am, my thoughts are confused and so. But actually, we're whole. We're not a spirit, soul, and body. We are just a person. It's just me. It is just you. You are who you are. And Peter Scazzero, who has a wonderful series of books called The Emotionally Healthy, and then etc. He has Emotionally Healthy Leaders, Emotionally Healthy Spirituality, Emotionally Healthy Discipleship. And in it, and there's front actually, it's a subtitle, it's impossible to be spiritually mature and emotionally immature. Same with the body. Like, it is with our body we serve God. As we said, Paul says, offer your body as a living sacrifice to God. This is your reasonable service or your spiritual service, because we have to serve God through our body, through our nervous system, through our hands and our feet, through our eyes and our ears, that we kind of interact with the world through our five senses and through our nervous system. Our nervous system feels and senses everything around us, and it processes it. And actually, it's not so much the brain, but it's the whole person that thinks, and the whole person that feels, and the whole person that makes a decision. So, like Oswald Chambers, he used to say that anything that is good for the spiritual heart, for the physical heart, sorry, anything good for the physical heart is also good for the spiritual heart. Where he'd say, just being in, like, your physical body is important. God just is completely against all sorts of false mysticism and this kind of spiritualism and this sort of, absorption kind of spirituality where you're just taking things into your spirit. But instead, God brings things to us through our bodily senses, through our eyes that we read, through our ears that we hear, through our bodies that we touch, and then through our reason that. But there is something about the spirit also, that is so important. Paul says, I serve God with my spirit. With my spirit I sing, and with my understanding I sing. With my spirit I understand, and with my mind I understand. So both, like our there, he's saying his mind and his spirit, as also his body and his spirit. So sorry, I'm saying a few different things here, but let me just finish with this way. There's something beautiful about the spirit too, and it is that it kind of has an intuition. It has an intuition. What's the other word for it? Maybe more intuition is. We'll stick with that word, intuition, and it's very different than impulse. Impulse is kind of a more of what you get instinct in an animal is more like impulse. Impulse is more like a rush of blood to the head, and it's just this sudden, and it causes kind of a reaction sometimes. Whereas intuition, like something from our spirit, where we just, God is speaking to us in a way. But the beautiful thing about intuition or about our spirit is that there's a lowliness about our spirit when it's coming from God, and a humbleness. It kind of presents what it has to the master, our reason, in a humble way. Our intuition or our spirit kind of presents to reason, this is what, God, and our reason is able to say, it's good, I'll take it, or I won't take it. And generally, like, if it's truly from God and the Spirit, our reason should take it, unless it's governed by prejudice or governed by our carnal nature, our fleshly desires, or whatever it is. But I serve God with my spirit, and it's a beautiful part of us. But also, offer your body a living sacrifice to God. This is your spiritual service. Like, we have to serve God. It has to, the spiritual life has to work itself out in our hands and in our feet and in our actions and in our words and in what we do. So, okay, just some food for thought. Amen. Amen.